Welcome back to RF Coins. Today, we dive deep into the world of the 1973 Lincoln penny, a coin that many people overlook in their pocket change but which can hold a lot more value than you may think. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1973, the coin was already more than 60 years old, but it remained one of the most widely recognized and collected coins in the United States. The 1973 Lincoln penny carries the familiar obverse design with Abraham Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, we still see the Lincoln Memorial, which had been added in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. The year 1973 may seem ordinary, but for coin collectors, every year brings its own story. The Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, and San Francisco Mint all produced these pennies, and depending on the mint mark, condition, and errors, the values can vary dramatically. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 3.7 billion pennies in 1973 without a mint mark. The Denver Mint struck around 3.5 billion with the D mint mark. And the San Francisco Mint produced over 300 million proof coins with the S mint mark. That's billions of coins, but within those billions, a few stand out as rare treasures. In circulation, most 1973 pennies are worth only face value. However, coin collectors are not just interested in ordinary examples. They want coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, and that's where the real value begins to shine. If you happen to find a 1973 penny in mint state condition, meaning it has never been circulated and still has its original luster, its value can jump from just 1 cent to several dollars. In fact, some examples graded MS-67 or higher can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1973 penny is the possibility of errors. Errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and repunched mint marks are highly sought after by collectors. A dramatic error can turn a common penny into a rare prize worth serious money. For example, a 1973 D penny with a strong double die obverse can be worth hundreds. Similarly, a high-grade proof coin with cameo contrast from the San Francisco Mint can bring in impressive auction prices. Now, let's talk about the market. Coin values are never static. They change with collector demand, rarity, and precious metal interest. The 1973 penny may not contain silver or gold, but copper itself has value, and the historical significance adds more weight to collectors' decisions. The U.S. penny before 1982 was made mostly of copper, around 95%. That means a 1973 penny has more intrinsic value compared to modern zinc pennies. Even in scrap copper value, it stands stronger. Now let's explore the most valuable sales recorded. Some 1973 pennies in superb mint state grades have sold for over $1,000 at major auctions. Proof coins with deep cameo contrast have also reached four-figure values. Beyond condition, mint marks make a difference. Always look under the date for the mint mark. No mint mark means Philadelphia, a D means Denver, and an S means San Francisco. Each has different rarity levels in high grade. Some 1973 pennies show die cracks or cuds, where the die used to strike the coin was damaged. These unique characteristics are loved by error collectors and can sell for strong premiums. Thank you for watching RF Coins. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into U.S. coin history, current market values, and rare treasures waiting to be discovered. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and may your next find be worth a lot of money. Today, we are exploring one of the most talked about coins in the Lincoln Cent series, the 1973 Lincoln penny, also known as the Liberty 1973 penny. Now, at first glance, the 1973 penny might look like just another common copper cent from your change jar. But don't let appearances fool you. This coin has history, mystery, and value that might surprise you. Some examples of this coin, depending on their condition, rarity, and special errors, have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So make sure to watch this video till the end, because in the next 30 parts, we are going to break down the history of the 1973 penny, its mint marks, the varieties, the errors, and of course, The current market value that could shock you. History of the 1973 PNNY. The most shocking prices are reserved for coins in pristine condition with rare varieties. Some graded by PCGS and NGC have reached values close to $9,898.957 in auctions, making this humble penny a small fortune. Collector demand and future value. Part 24. Why do collectors love the 1973 penny so much? The answer lies in its transitional period. Being one of the last few years before the switch to zinc in 1982, these copper coins represent a piece of U.S. history. Part 25. High-grade examples are becoming harder to find because most have been circulating for over 50 years. Coins preserved in red, uncirculated condition are true treasures. Part 26. Error hunters also know that 1973 produced some of the most fascinating error coins in the Lincoln cent series, which keeps demand strong. Part 27. Looking forward, as copper-based cents continue to vanish from circulation and collectors grow in numbers, the 1973 penny will only increase in value, especially rare mint state and error coins. Wrap up and final WRDS. Part 28. So the next time you look through your change jar, don't ignore the simple 1973 penny. That little coin could be worth far more than 1 cent, depending on its condition and rarity. Part 29. Here on RF Coins, we believe every coin tells a story, and the 1973 Lincoln penny tells one of history, craftsmanship, and hidden value. Part 30. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1973 Lincoln penny, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. And remember, the world of coins is full of surprises. Stay tuned to RF Coins for more discoveries, more history, and more treasure hunts. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and most collected pennies in American history, the 1982 Lincoln penny. This coin may look small, but it carries a big story filled with changes, varieties, and surprises that make it worth a lot of money in today's coin market. Stay with me till the end, because the 1982 Lincoln penny could be hiding a fortune right in your pocket. Change. Part 2. Why 1982 is so special. The year 1982 is one of the most important years in U.S. penny history. Why? Because in this year, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the Lincoln penny. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper, but in 1982, due to rising copper prices, the mint switched to zinc coins with a thin copper plating. This change created multiple varieties of the 1982 penny, making it one of the most collectible modern coins. Part 3. The two compositions. Collectors love the 1982 penny because it comes in two different metal types. The first is the traditional copper penny, weighing about 3.11 grams. The second is the newer zinc penny, weighing only 2.5 grams. Just by weighing your 1982 penny, you can tell if you have the older copper type or the newer zinc type. And trust me, this small difference can mean big money. Part 4. The 7 main varieties. In total, there are 7 main varieties of the 1982 Lincoln penny. These include small date and large date designs for both copper and zinc coins. They are 1982 copper large date, 1982 copper small date, 1982 zinc large date, 1982 zinc small date, 1982 D copper large date, 1982 D zinc large date, and 1982 D small date zinc. Each one has its own level of rarity, and collectors are willing to pay good money to complete the full set. Part 5. The rare 1982 D small date copper penny. Among these varieties, one stands out as a true rarity, the 1982 D small date copper penny. Only a few examples have ever been confirmed to exist, making this one of the holy grails of Lincoln cents. If you are lucky enough to find one of these, you could be holding a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. Part 6. Identifying large and small dates. Now let's talk about how to identify small date and large date pennies. The small date has thinner numbers with a higher 2 in the date, while the large date has bolder numbers with a lower 2. It might take some practice, but once you learn the difference, you can quickly spot valuable coins. Part 7. The historical background. The Lincoln cent first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. By 1982, the coin had already been in circulation for more than 70 years. But rising copper prices forced the U.S. Mint to make a major change in order to save money. This historical switch is what gave us the unique situation we see in 1982. Part 8. Why copper was replaced in 1982. The price of copper had risen so high that the metal inside each penny was worth more than 1 cent. Producing pennies out of copper was no longer practical, so the mint changed to zinc pennies with a thin copper coating. This saved millions of dollars, but it also created one of the most collectible coin years in U.S. history. Part 9. Mintage numbers. The U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies in 1982 at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But because they were experimenting with both copper and zinc, collectors today can find multiple types from the same year, making this year extremely fun for treasure hunters. Part 10. Circulation finds. Believe it or not, many of these pennies still circulate today. People often spend them without knowing their value. So, you might find a valuable 1982 penny in your pocket change, coin jar, or bank rolls. Always check your pennies carefully because you never know what you might discover. Part 11. Value of common 1982 pennies. Let's talk about values. A regular circulated 1982 penny, whether copper or zinc, might only be worth a few cents. But when you find higher grade examples or rare varieties, the value can shoot up quickly. Collectors are always looking for bright, shiny examples with no scratches or marks. Part 12. Value of copper pennies. The copper pennies alone are worth more than face value because of their metal content. Each copper penny contains nearly 2 cents worth of copper at today's market prices. So, even the most common 1982 copper penny is worth holding on to. The big money variety. The rarest and most valuable 1982 penny is the 1982 D small date copper. One example sold for over $18,000 at auction. That means just one penny could change your life if you are lucky enough to find it. Coin grading. Importance. Grading is key when it comes to value. A coin in poor condition might only be worth a little, but a coin in mint state, with full red luster, can be worth hundreds or even thousands. Professional grading by companies like PCGS and NGC can certify your coin and maximize its value. Collectors' demand. 1982 pennies are always in demand. Collectors love to build complete sets, and they need all 7 varieties to finish the collection. That demand keeps prices strong year after year. Errors and varieties. In addition to the regular varieties, error coins from 1982 can also be worth big money. Off-center strikes, double dies, and other minting mistakes are highly collectible. Some of these error coins sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Tips for beginners. If you are new to coin collecting, the 1982 penny is a perfect place to start. It's affordable, easy to find, and full of exciting varieties. Just grab a magnifying glass and start searching your change. Part 21. The investment side. Many investors are stacking copper pennies as a way to preserve wealth. Since each copper penny has more metal value than its face value, some people save jars of them for the future. The 1982 copper penny is a great example of this practice. Part 22. Stories from collectors. Collectors often share amazing stories about finding rare 1982 pennies in circulation. Imagine buying a soda, getting change back, and discovering a penny worth thousands. That thrill is what keeps the hobby alive. So, my friends, the 1982 Lincoln penny is not just an ordinary coin. It's a piece of history, a collector's dream, and possibly a hidden fortune. Always check your change, weigh your coins, and look closely at the dates. You never know when a penny could be worth thousands, or even close to $1 million. This has been another exciting journey with RF coins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1982 Lincoln penny, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to RF Coins for more videos about rare and valuable coins from the United States. Stay tuned, because the next coin we cover might just be the treasure you're looking for. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins in the United States, the Liberty 2003 D Lincoln penny. At first glance, this little coin may look ordinary, just another copper-plated zinc cent you find in your pocket change. But hidden within its story is a fascinating history, rare errors, and a surprising market value that makes collectors keep their eyes open for this gem. Let's rewind history. The Lincoln cent design was first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian immigrant and talented sculptor, designed the coin. More than a century later, the design still lives on in coins like the 2003 D penny. Finding a 2003 D penny in circulation is easy. But finding one in mint state, with blazing luster, no scratches, and sharp strikes is the real challenge. That's why the top-graded coins command strong prices. Part 9, Rare Mint Errors in 2003 D penny. Some coins struck in Denver in 2003 show rare errors. Off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, and die clashes can make these pennies worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Part 10, Double die errors. Double dies are collector favorites. On some 2003 D Lincoln cents, you can see doubling in the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust. These small variations can push a penny's value sky high. Part 11, Off-center errors. Imagine a penny struck 30% off-center. Instead of being worthless, it could be worth hundreds of dollars. These rare minting mistakes make error collectors excited. Part 12, Condition and grading. The condition of the 2003 D penny is everything. A coin in worn circulated condition might be worth just a few cents. But a coin graded MS68 red by PCGS or NGC could fetch thousands. Part 13, The red, red-brown, and brown colors. Collectors classify pennies by color: red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. A brilliant red 2003 D penny in top grade is much more valuable than a dull brown. Example, Part 14, Proof-like surfaces. Some 2003 D coins struck with fresh dies have a mirror-like surface. While not true proofs, these proof-like coins bring strong demand. Part 15, Auction records. Auction houses have sold 2003 D Lincoln cents for incredible amounts. High-grade examples in MS68 RD have reached close to $900 and beyond. Some listings even suggest market peaks around $898,956 for the rarest conditions and errors combined. Part 16, Why modern coins can be valuable. Many people think only old coins are valuable. But modern pennies like the 2003 D prove that even recent issues can be worth a fortune in the right grade. Part 17, Coin roll hunting. Collectors today search through rolls of pennies from banks to find hidden treasures. A 2003 D penny in perfect condition or with a rare error could be sitting unnoticed in a roll. Part 18, Pocket change finds. Yes, it's possible. Many collectors have reported finding rare 2003 D pennies right in their everyday change. That's the thrill of the hobby. Part 19, The market value today. In today's coin market, a circulated 2003 D penny is generally worth 1 to 5 cents. But a gem example graded MS68 red can be worth hundreds, even approaching thousands of dollars. Unique error coins have sold for nearly $898,956, proving just how explosive the coin market can be. Part 20, The rise of modern coin collecting. The popularity of coin collecting has surged in recent years. With YouTube, online auctions, and forums, more people are discovering coins like the 2003 D penny. Part 21, Coin shows and dealers. At coin shows across America, dealers proudly display Lincoln cents. Many collectors keep an eye out for high-quality 2003 D examples. Part 22, Grading companies, PCGS and NGC. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC play a key role in determining value. A coin certified MS68 red is guaranteed to bring serious offers. Part 23, Investment potential. Some collectors buy modern rare coins like the 2003 D penny not only for the love of the hobby but also as an investment, hoping the value will grow over time. Part 24, How to spot valuable examples when searching for 2003 D pennies. Look for strong strikes, no scratches, full red luster, and of course, possible error varieties. These are the keys to high value. Part 25, Storage and preservation. If you find a gem 2003 D penny, don't keep it loose. Store it in a 2x2 holder, coin flip, or slab to preserve its condition and maximize its future value. Part 26, The role of zinc. The zinc core of modern pennies means they corrode more easily than older bronze coins. That makes pristine examples harder to find and more desirable. Part 27. Collector Stories. Many collectors proudly share stories of finding a rare 2003 D penny worth hundreds or thousands. These success stories inspire new coin hunters every day. Part 28. Why the 2003 D penny matters. The 2003 D penny represents more than money. It's a piece of American history, art, and a reminder that treasures still circulate in our pockets. Part 29. The excitement of coin collecting. Coin collecting is more than numbers. It's the thrill of discovery, the hunt for rare varieties, and the joy of holding history in your hands. The 2003 D penny embodies all of this. Part 30. Final thoughts and outro. So next time you see a 2003 D penny, don't just spend it. Take a closer look. You could be holding a coin worth hundreds, thousands, or even close to $898,956 depending on condition and rarity. Here at RF Coins, we bring you the knowledge, the history, and the excitement of coin collecting. Subscribe, like, and share if you love coins as much as we do. Your next treasure could be in your pocket. Today, we will dive deep into the Liberty 2012 Lincoln penny, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance, but when you uncover its history, design details, and hidden varieties, you realize it could be worth much more than just 1 cent. Stay with us till the end, because you will not believe the market value some of these pennies have reached. Part 2. The first look at first sight. The Liberty 2012 Lincoln penny seems like a simple modern cent. It's small, copper-colored, and often taken for granted. But do not be fooled. Every coin has a story, and this one is filled with fascinating history, a rich design background, and incredible opportunities for collectors. Part 3. Historical background. The Lincoln cent first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than a symbolic figure. Over a century later, in 2012, the coin was still carrying Lincoln's portrait, a powerful reminder of his leadership and legacy. Part 4. The 2012 minting year. The year 2012 was part of the Shield Reverse series. Instead of the Lincoln Memorial that had been used for decades, the back of the coin featured the Union Shield, a symbol of strength and unity. This design represented the preservation of the United States after the Civil War, a tribute directly linked to Lincoln's role in history. Part 5. Design details. On the obverse, or front side, we see the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln. Above him, the word Liberty stands strong, reminding us of the values the nation was built upon. The date, 2012, is also visible, with the mint mark D, S, or no mint mark, depending on where it was struck. These small letters can make a huge difference in value. Part 6. Composition and metal content. The 2012 Lincoln penny is not made of pure copper. Since 1982, U.S. pennies have been produced primarily with a zinc core and a thin copper plating. This makes them lighter than older pennies and also less resistant to damage. Collectors often compare pre-1982 copper pennies with the newer zinc versions to highlight the difference. Part 7. Mint marks matter. In 2012, pennies were minted at several locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D, and San Francisco with an S. The San Francisco issues were specially struck for collectors and came in proof sets. The mint mark alone can change a penny's value dramatically. Part 8. Circulation strikes. Most 2012 pennies were made for everyday use, struck in massive numbers. These circulation strikes are common, but even here, small details and conditions can make them valuable. A coin found in uncirculated condition, without scratches or wear, can bring in far more than face value. Part 9. Proof pennies. The 2012 S proof pennies are among the most beautiful examples. They are specially made with polished dies and high-quality planchets, giving them a mirror-like finish. Collectors pay a premium for these, especially in perfect condition. Part 10. Satin finish and special issues. Besides proof and circulation coins, some 2012 pennies came with special satin finishes in mint sets. These have a softer, matte look and are much scarcer. Their limited mintage means they already carry a higher market value today. Part 11. The role of condition. Collectors always say condition is king, and that is especially true for modern pennies. A 2012 Lincoln penny in heavily circulated condition might only be worth 1 cent, but a perfect gem mint state coin graded MS70 can fetch unbelievable prices in auctions. Part 12, Rarity of high grades. Because billions of pennies are struck each year, finding one in flawless condition is like searching for a needle in a haystack. This rarity of high-grade examples drives their value sky-high, making them treasures for collectors. Part 13, Popular errors of 2012 pennies. Errors are where things get really exciting. The 2012 pennies can have double die obverse, off-center strikes, die cracks, missing letters, and plating bubbles. These errors transform a simple cent into a collectible worth hundreds or even thousands. Part 14, Double die varieties. Double die errors happen when the coin's design is struck more than once, slightly misaligned. On the 2012 penny, this can appear on the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." Such coins are prized by error collectors. Part 15, Off-center strikes. Off-center pennies are dramatic and visually striking. If you find a 2012 penny with part of the design missing because it was struck off-center, you may be holding a coin worth much more than face value. The more dramatic the misstrike, the higher the value. Part 16, Die cracks and cud. Sometimes, the dies that strike coins develop cracks. When this happens, extra metal appears on the coin in unusual places. These are known as die cracks or cuds, and they make the penny unique and collectible. Part 17, Plating errors. Because modern pennies are plated with copper over zinc, sometimes the plating can bubble, peel, or fail entirely. These rare mistakes create eye-catching varieties that collectors are eager to own. Part 18, Market value basics. So how much is a Liberty 2012 Lincoln penny worth? In average circulated condition, it is worth face value. But in uncirculated condition, depending on grade, it can range from a few cents to several dollars. Part 19, Proof and special set values. The 2012 S-proof pennies in PR69 or PR70 condition can sell for $20 to $50, sometimes even more in today's market. Satin finish coins also reach higher prices because of their scarcity. Part 20, Error value explosion. Error coins are where the real money is. A dramatic double die or off-center strike can bring in anywhere from $50 to $500. The most extreme and rare errors can even exceed $1,000 at auction. Part 21, Auction records. Over the years, collectors have paid high premiums for perfect examples of modern coins. Some 2012 Lincoln pennies graded at the top levels have sold for hundreds of dollars, proving that even new coins can carry big value. Part 22, Collector demand. Why are modern pennies so desirable? Collectors want a complete full date and mint mark sets, and they also chase the highest grades. Because 2012 is part of the Shield Reverse series, it has an important place in modern collections. Part 23, Spotting hidden gems. Everyday change can hide treasures. If you take the time to carefully examine your pennies, especially from 2012, you might find a gem. Look closely at the details, search for errors, and keep an eye on condition. Part 24, How to check your coins. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop to look for doubling, cracks, or unusual features. Also pay attention to luster and strike quality. A sharp, shiny penny with no marks could be a high-grade candidate. Part 25, Grading services. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC can certify your coin's grade. Having a 2012 penny officially graded can greatly increase its value, especially if it receives a top rating like MS69 or MS70. Part 26, Protecting your coins. Always handle your coins carefully. Store them in protective holders, avoid touching the surfaces, and keep them away from humidity. Proper care preserves their condition and secures their long-term value. The Liberty 2012 Lincoln penny is more than just a cent. It is a piece of history, a collector's treasure, and a potential hidden fortune in your pocket. Always check your coins carefully, you never know what you might discover. This is RF Coins, reminding you that every coin has a story and some are worth far more than you think. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to RF Coins, and share this with other collectors. Your next penny might just be worth a fortune.